The director of outreach for vegan outreach, which is extremely important, just as John mentioned. Without vegan outreach, people wouldn't know about us. They wouldn't know we're here or why we're here and why it's important and why they need to hear about it. So please welcome Jon Camp.
Chicago Veggie Pride Parade, are you ready to make some noise? Okay, well, you came to the right place. You already made a lot of noise today, and from the loudest of you, meaning Vadim with his bullhorn, to the quietest of you, your voice was heard. Because a lot of Chicagoans today didn't think that they would be thinking about vegetarian eating when they start off their day, but today they... A little louder? Okay. But now, in fact, they are. Because when you got up this morning and you got out of bed, you could have easily idled away your day, but you decided to get up, put on your non-leather sneakers, and come out here and literally walk the walk. Because of that, you rock, and you should all give yourselves a big round of applause for rocking today. While on the subject of applause, I think it's also important that we once again recognize the individuals who made this happen, the organizers who did the logistical work to make today the smashing success that it was. So Vadim, Terry, and the rest of the organizers, thank you very much. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that I now live in the Washington, D.C. area, but I'm originally from the Chicago area, and so my roots are here, and there are two special guests today, and those are the individuals who brought me into the world and who instilled in me many of the values that brought me here today. Ladies and gentlemen, my parents, Glenn and Diana Camp. Okay, so I think it's important for us to ask why we're here today. I think what brings us here is partly a preference for vegetarian foods, but I don't think it's just a preference for vegetarian food that makes us so passionate about this. You know, tempeh, it's a good source of protein. Combine it with the right spices, the right sauces, the right veggies, you've got a good meal. Kale chips, I'm in the throes of a kale chip addiction, and if I don't have any within the next few minutes, I'll suffer withdrawal symptoms. But tempeh and kale chips aren't enough to get us out here to walk. That's not a compelling reason to make us so passionate about this. It's not what brought me here, and I'm guessing it's not what brought you here. I think why we are so passionate about this is because we realize that our food choices make a big impact on the world. That what we decide to eat says a lot about who we are as individuals, what our core values are, and what type of world we want to live in. We're also united because we have a deep desire to live in a world free of unnecessary suffering. If you agree with that, can I get a hell yeah? Okay. So, knowing that, and knowing that not just being a quiet vegetarian it's important. You spare about 30 to 35 birds and mammals a year, but you can do so much good by doing what you did today and getting out and being a vocal vegetarian advocate, where you have the potential to spare hundreds, if not thousands, of animals each year. So I would like to offer 3 quick things that all of us can do to spread vegetarianism and reduce animal suffering. The first is you can get involved with groups like what I work for, Vegan Outreach. How many of you here are familiar with Vegan Outreach? Yeah. So what Vegan Outreach does, we print and distribute these booklets that talk about the plight of farm animals. We give these out free of charge at concerts and colleges. One thing that animal agriculture has going for itself is the ability to keep the general public in the dark about the mistreatment of farm animals. Animal ag is not going to invite the general public onto its facilities, so it's our job as vegetarian advocates to bring the factory farms, bring the slaughterhouses directly to the general public. We do that through leafleting. We give out about 3 million booklets a year. Across the country, and it's a very simple thing that all of you can do, and we would love if you were to take part in it. If this is of interest to you, send me an email, John, send me booklets, we'll send you booklets, you can get out and do this. Another thing you can do in the Chicagoland area is simply join forces with Mercy for Animals. Can we get a round of applause for Mercy for Animals? There are a lot of individuals throughout the country who would love to be involved with a really top-notch organization, but they don't have that in their neck of the woods. You do, and it's important that you get involved with the groups doing good work. All you have to do is go to mercyforanimals.org, click on the events page, and join them for some of the events. Again, Mercy for Animals is a top-notch organization run by a top-notch and very handsome coordinator, Michael Nielsen. You might consider donating to groups that you think are doing effective, efficient work. It was a few years ago that Vegan Outreach's budget increased by 56%. That same year, we were able to distribute 56% more booklets, reach 56% more individuals. So there was a direct correlation between the amount of money that generous donors gave Vegan Outreach and the amount of good we were able to do. So regardless of what route you take, I think it's important to prioritize this. Say, I'm going to spend 1 or 2 hours a month getting out and doing outreach, and then pencil it in your calendar and get out and actually do it. Or if you want to donate, say, I'm going to donate 1 or 2 hours of my salary each month. This is a real tangible way that you can make an impact for animals. The late, great Howard Zinn, a historian, said that when we get involved in activism, there is always the chance that we will put all this work into it and we won't see the progress in society that we want to see. But when we decide to not get involved in activism, there's a 100% chance that we won't see this. And by getting involved in activism, there is a good chance that we will see some real tangible change. And by getting involved, we will meet some of the greatest, most vibrant, most intelligent individuals, and we'll feel like we're not just mere spectators in life, but active participants working to change the course of human history. The one thing I wanted to say is that we have seen real tangible change for animals. Pretty much every day, Vegan Outreach activists are hearing from individuals who have gone vegetarian, vegan. As a result of this, we get a couple hundred vegetarian starter pack requests every month from somebody who got our booklet. And we're seeing real changes broadly. We're having more and more opportunities to go to the ballot box and vote for animals. We are seeing more and more vegetarians and vegans. The Bon Appetit, which is a food catering company, they survey college students to see if they're vegetarian or vegan. In 2005-2006, the number of self-identified vegetarians was 8%. The number of self-identified vegans was 1%. 4 years later, the 2009-2010, it was 12% who said they're vegetarian and 2% who said they're vegan. Yeah. So in a matter of just 4 years, the number of vegetarians went up 50% and the number of vegans went up, it doubled. And we're also seeing the number of animals raised and killed. Well, first off, for the last many decades, starting around World War II, it was going up and up and up and up, and now for the first time, the number of animals raised and killed in the U.S. is starting to go down. And not just by a small fraction. If trends continue, there will be 1 billion fewer animals raised and killed in the U.S. than just a few years ago.